It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day, I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome back to Can Crushers, guys. Right off the start, this is the most important thing we have to talk about this week. Is we are literally on the phone right now with Crazii Shea himself, getting an update on him, number one. And then maybe we can talk a little bit about this event that you're putting on with Code Red Wrestling as well on August 24th. But before we get to any of that, Crazii One, welcome back to Can Crushers. And how in the hell are you feeling?
Well, thanks for having me on. This is the first interview since being crucified. Making that mistake. I am a lot better, man. If you would have told me 2 weeks ago I'd be where I was at now, I would not have believed you. It was looking pretty dismal in the first few days, but modern technology is amazing, and there's this stuff out on the market. It's called Pore Gel. If you ever get a burn, I'd tell your doctor to grab it for you, keep it on there. And let me tell you what, the scarring is super minimal. I mean, I've got some wicked-looking eye scars, but I'm okay with that. That's the worst, really. I mean, out of everything that happened, I walked away with a few scars, and I'm lucky because it could have been a lot worse. I've learned to be a little bit more careful. My buddy said I've used up eight of my 9 cat lives, and I need to cool my ass down a little bit.
So you've probably used up more. You've probably used up some of my cat lives too, but that's a different story.
I'm working on borrowed time.
So, do you mind rewinding a little bit to that night, or do you not want to talk about it?
Man, you know what? I haven't really talked to anybody about it, and a lot of people are asking what went wrong. It was a series of unfortunate events that night. The fan was on. I didn't really put in my mind how much that would affect what I was doing. I did not have my fire-breathing wand that I normally have. I actually was doing it off a zipper lighter, which I've done before. It's dangerous. Yes, I know. I got way too comfortable. That's the gist of it. Like I can call out everything that, went wrong that night, but ultimately I was to blame. I know what I'm doing. I've done it very safely for, almost 10 years. Every time that I've done something stupid, it's been because I wasn't being safe. I wasn't, following protocol. I was skipping a step. You can't do that. You can't get comfortable. It's not your best friend. It gets angry, and it will mess you up fast, and that's what happens. I mean, just being point, I was stupid with it. I wasn't prepared. If we're getting down to the point of it, I was not prepared. Oh, and, that leads to the next question. Will I do it again? Of course I will. It's what I do.
Right.
I mean, and any fire breather that's ever, been caught on fire, it happens. When I went to school for this, the first thing my fire instructor taught me was that told us, if you do this and you do this well and you do this for a living and you do this often, you will catch yourself on fire. It's going to happen. You play with it enough, and it doesn't matter how safe you are, there's going to be a time when you catch yourself on fire. Don't freak out. Don't panic. And it's because of those words that I'm probably here, because for the 15 seconds, my head went full Ghost Rider, and you never go full Ghost Rider. I mean, full head of flame. I did not scream out. I did not yell. I did not panic. I did what I was supposed to do, because if I did, I wouldn't be here. You know, it's a trick, but it's a trick that the consequences of a super day, man.
On that note, how is Alora as well? Because we heard, you know,
she got a little whiplash. Cause following the ambulance to where they were shut down the middle of the intersection for the life flight, she hits a 300-pound black bear, I believe. Totals the car. Jumps in the car with a firefighter and still makes it to the life flight to see me out. 2 hours. It took me an hour to get to the hospital in the chopper, and she was there at the hospital within 2.5, 3 hours. So I mean, she's troopers through all this. She's been by my side. Yeah, really, like, I don't think, she's on my ass about taking care of myself, about my face. I know you don't want to hear this, but put that stuff on your face, it's time, She's been on it. She wrote down, a whole little schedule, and my mom came down, it was a big family affair. Everybody was really worried that, things were going to be bad, but in the long run, things have worked out. I mean, I'm still here. I don't think I look too horrible. I mean,
well, that's your own opinion. That is definitely your own opinion.
Hey, look, coming from day one, I'm not even gonna lie. I look like Freddy Krueger, and it was really scary. But again, it's amazing, and the face is very regenerative. And I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.
Now, we saw you this past Monday at the Clearfield Fair doing a parade, and you had a mask on. Is that doctor's orders? Is that something we're going to see in the near future for Shea, or was that just to keep the sun off your face?
That's something that you're going to see for a while. It's a little bit of both protective and just the way I'm feeling, man. Lord allows me to be a little bit more me. I don't know. The mask was made in Louisiana, and I told you the moment I put it on, I just felt different. I like the way it made me feel.
Nice.
I felt almost anonymous.
Yeah. Side note, do you have a nice, sweet-ass bearskin rug in your house now?
No, and that's the doubt I'm getting my family working with you, because that's some of the best. Even though he drove the car, he bounced over the rail and took one second, man. My friend who's in the car, whose name is, funny story, Ron Bear, he said he's never seen a 300-pound bear do a front flip before. And, front flip right over the guardrail, and the state police couldn't find him. They looked for him. Said he probably got up, took it off, and walked away.
That sucks. That really sucks.
I know, right? I know. It has been a fiasco the last few weeks. It has been a really rough time. And I really have to thank everybody for the Get Well cards, their donations to get me back on my feet and help with hospital bills. I cannot thank everybody enough. Like, there's been days where it's really been hard to get out of bed, and I haven't been doing much getting out of bed, but the getting out of bed that I have been doing is running up to the mailbox and getting the cards and the letters. That kept me going, man. It let me know that people cared,
Yeah, Can Crusher Nation, it has been posted on Facebook already. It's on our website. The GoFundMe's still out there. Shea is still not out of the water, so help him out.
Oh, yeah, no, we still don't have a car yet. It's still rough times. We're working on that. It's a big, it's a headache, man. It's everything hit at once. You know what I'm saying? There is no breather in between whatsoever. While I was on a life flight, Laura's taking care of car stuff, and it's just been a lot. There's been a lot.
But on August 24th, Asylum and Code Red Wrestling present Skin Deep. It's a benefit for you. Yeah. Aptly named.
I can't say it was outlasted, and I think this was the Code Red Wrestling. He really helped us out. He called me up and he said, listen, we're going to run, we're going to do something big. It was just, it was great. You know, I couldn't believe that there's so many people that hit me up that wanted to help. And he was like, listen, I've got a bunch of guys that are going to come in and work, and, you know, they're going to donate their time and their services. And I was like, oh, wow, well, talk to my guys. And none of my guys had an issue with it. They all want to help me out. I'm really blessed to know the people that I know and the people that I've surrounded myself with in the wrestling business. And that kind of leads me to, you know, we're talking about the 24th. No real matches have been announced. I'm going to say now, from the amount of people that I've had inquire, we're going to have a Royal Rumble, and anybody that wants to attend is welcome to attend. The winner will get a shot at any title they want on the Asylum side. And I know it's a Code Wrestling show. So Fleck hasn't told me yet if it applies to his as well, or, you know, but from the Asylum side, any title shot that they want, the winner of that battle royal will get their chance to show off what they got. You know, I mean, hey, if they can beat, you know, and I'm guessing there's going to be 30 or 40 other guys, because all the guys from Asylum and the Red have already said they're in. And there's a few other people that have already hit me up, and with the open invitation, you know, you never know what could actually happen. It leaves a lot of chance. It could be, you know, you could see the future of Asylum or the future of Code Red Wrestling, you know, come out of nowhere. Never know.
Yeah, and again, that's August 24th in Clearfield. Tickets are available. Contact Shea. Go on Asylum Wrestling on Facebook, message him there. He can hook you up.
Tickets, I think we're going to do at the door. We've got a big enough venue and big enough seating that we can accommodate everybody. We're just going to do tickets at the door. And, as I said, this is a benefit show. It's for a good cause. And, you know, once I get back on my feet, anything that I have over, I'm going to donate to the burn center myself, because without them, I don't think I'd be in the position that I'm in now, with my recovery as it is. They helped me out a lot. My doctor, Dr. Huck in Clearfield, and he's an awesome doc. He's taking care of me real well. I'm blessed, man. This show is going to be amazing. I've got amazing people behind me. I really can't thank Code Red Wrestling enough. And all their guys. It's just, we're a family. It's cool. It's a good feeling to be a part of something like that and know that the boys have your back, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Talked to Fleck a few weeks ago, and this story just continues to stick in my head, Shea, that he, as soon as the event was over, he drove to Pittsburgh to see you, and you were doing a Facebook Live with Laura outside with your IV, smoking a cigarette after 95% of your face has been liquidated. You're smoking a cigarette outside the damn emergency room. You're MFing crazy.
It was a stressful time, you know. They had me. I wasn't feeling much pain. And you go into like a shock once all that happens, so we're like, you don't really feel anything. It was such a weird experience. Like, as for the pain didn't start until like day 2 or 3 after the shock went away. I was just in so much shock and waiting for my people. You know, I was worried about, you know, my people traveling. I went outside to wait for them. And they told me I couldn't go with their heart rate because I had an IV. I'd be IV, so I'd take it out. And they told me that wasn't necessary, and that I could stay with my friends. So I sat outside to make a cigarette and wait for my friends.
I wouldn't imagine any other thing, any other way, any other way of life with you, Shea. I really, you could say that you ate that bear for dinner last night, and I'd be like, yeah, you probably killed it with your bare hands too, just because that's your life.
Truthfully, yeah, it was an interesting time, man. It was, as I said, I'm blessed that everything turned out the way it did. I have a few rules that I have to follow for a little bit. Because I've got baby skin now. It's not used to anything. It's all new. It's baby pink. I've got to stay out of the sun. I can't take any traumatic head injuries for a minute. Nothing to the face. So there's a lot of shit that I got to look out for. But on August 2nd, I've already showed my doctor the mask, and he said as long as everything's healed up. I'm telling you right now, I looked in the mirror this morning, applied everything, and man, if he doesn't clear me, I think me and him are going to fight because I'm ready. I look good. My face is clear. I'm good. I am ready to roll. There's all the problem spots that were there have peeled away. Like lizard skin, man, my whole face just tore off. It's crazy.
Well, that's good to know that you're a lizard. This conversation was going good till you said lizard skin, and I'm over here gagging on the microphone now like a...
Dude, it was... You just having face to well. It's insane. It's an insane experience. Yes, yeah, I have learned some lessons, let me tell you.
Yeah. All right, Shea, you need to go get some rest and have a cigarette. We will see you August 24th at Skin Deep in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Thanks for the update, and we got a couple weeks. Maybe if you're good, we'll bring you back on once you start announcing some matches.
Yeah. We've got some matches lined up at the rest of the talent that we got because there's so many people that have contacted me about this that it's hard to get everybody in, so we figured the Battle Royal is going to be the best way to do it and give everybody a fair shake. So thank you again, Can Crushers, for coming out to the parade.
Yeah, well,
we'll get you on that one.
Sometimes
I understand. You get a pass.
There was representation there.
I told you one was coming.
There was representation there, though. There was somebody there for. See? We made it official.
That's okay. Hey, one of you guys was there. Thank you. You guys were represented, and we had a lot of fun. I can't thank you guys enough for all that you've done for us.
Anytime. We'll see you on the 24th, Shea.
All right, guys. Stay crazy.
So that's a little bit of an update on Asylum owner Crazii Shea. It's great to hear his voice. Reached out to him just to touch base and wanted to bring you guys, get up to date with Shea. And if you can be at the August 24th show in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, please come out. It's a benefit for him. They put on great shows. If you can't, please head to Asylum Pro Wrestling on Facebook or look up Eric Shea. And if you can give anything, go to that GoFundMe, help him out. As you can hear, he's passionate about what he does, and he's just crazy as shit too because he's got a few screws loose. All right, OVW report is coming up, but we're gonna do the MLW report. Chad is actually working today. No, we're not gonna say he's hunting, he's fishing, he's killing goats or anything. He's actually got off his ass and went to work today. So I'm going to fly solo with the MLW. It's going to be quick, and then you're going to hear my OVW report as I have a guest for the OVW report. So for MLW, Selena Del Renta starts to show off, and she's just saying that Bestia 666 is going to take Mance out, and he's going to get that golden ticket, and it's going to be in possession of Selena again, and she's just going to run amok. She's going to take over MLW. She doesn't go out and say this, but she more or less is warning MLW that her cast of, I don't know, you don't want to say merry men, but, weirdos, I guess, are coming for MLW. And once she gets this golden ticket, watch out. The match was great. Chad and I didn't know who Bestia was last week. as we were predicting that it's going to be some mammoth guy, Braun Strowman-esque, just beefed out, beefcake type of guy. Shocking, he looked maybe a little bit like Crowbar or one of the... Maybe Raven is the younger, he was a younger guy, not as thick, very athletic, and this match showed that this guy is amazing. He really is. He really is. He's got the Mortis type of face going on, along with the guy that's in AEW right now that I just can't think of his name because that's just the way I am. I didn't write notes at all this week because I thought I was going to have a host of people in studio. Nobody is in studio except my dog and me. So that's why this is all just thrown in like this. But that's the way it is. Bestia gets the win. Mance is out, loses a golden ticket, and now it's back in control with Selena. And now he can get the title, pretty much whenever he wants. Hammerstone and Davey Boy Smith's sister is caught. It's Georgia Smith is caught in the elevator pretty much making out. And the Dynasty has no comment. Really no comment about it. And that's it. The Contra unit is warning the fans, if you're throwing stuff into the ring, they're just going to pound on the Von Erichs more. And then they're going to come after you. Because last time that these guys kind of crossed paths, fans in Chicago were ruthless and just threw stuff at them. That match happens later, though. Ricky Martinez against Low Key, and Selena's out again with Ricky. And also, this was awesome because during the match, the first 5-10 minutes of the match was slow-paced. Really not paying attention to the match as they were getting more into what's going on with Conan and Selena, because Conan is getting ready to release emails that could cause some problems, some XXX photos. That's why Chad's not here, because he decided to go in the woods for a few minutes. No. But it just kind of, in Cornette, just kept telling great stories to talk about what was going on. So this built more of that storyline that we always talk about when we're talking about MLW and how it just flows better. At the end of the day, Low Key wins the match. Boom, bang, boom. Match is over. Ricky's laying in the middle of the ring. Selena does come back over to Low Key to say, hey, how about we partner up? She goes in for a kiss and Low Key just walks off. Like, nah, I don't want any of that. Brazil is calling out all of MLW for being biased towards them. So we have to watch out what Brazil and his gang are up to. And then we finally hear from Filthy Tom Lawler. He breaks his silence. We haven't seen hide nor hair of him since he lost the title to Jacob Fatu back at Kings of Coliseum. But he comes out and he just names off cities. Yeah, New York and Dallas, and he's just telling everybody he's going to beat Fatu's ass pretty much anywhere that he meets him. And then in Dallas, there's going to be a War Chamber match. So all this is coming into play. He wants Fatu to bleed. This battle will not end. It should not end. Because it's just going to be one of those epic battles between, I want my title back, you're not getting the title. Just that storyline is pretty amazing. And Filthy Tom Lawler is going to build back up. And then we have what is the main event of the evening, the Contra unit, Samael and Simon Gotch against the Von Erichs, and this match is just crazy. Samael tries the ending real quick because you guys should go and watch it. It's on YouTube. It premieres 7 o'clock every Monday night, so you could legit watch it before you watch Raw. That's what I'm going to try to do next week instead of squeezing it in at a different time. Just watch wrestling from 7 to 11 on Monday. That's my day. That's my Monday night. My wife loves me. I sit in my chair and eat bonbons and drink water and eat lemon heads and watch wrestling from 7 to 11 every Monday. What more can I do? Guys, go out and watch it. In the gist of things, they're talking about how the Riot Squad is out there. And no, the Riot Squad is not out there. I'm kidding. A Riot Squad comes out and makes their way around because this match never really ends at the end of the show. As Samael is ready to throw fire in the face of the Von Erichs, it gets blocked with a chair. Samael gets punched in the face and then loses the match. It's a great match. Get out there and watch it. But then afterwards, like I said, everybody is just out there. Referees are knocked down. The Riot Squad does make an appearance, but it's not Ruby, Sarah, and Liv. It's the real Riot Squad. And then you see Fatu get into it. Then you see Filthy Tom come and get into it as well. This is going to set up for a 6-man, maybe like a War Games type of match going on here in MLW. So, guys, again, make sure you watch MLW. The storylines are there. It's what we want from wrestling. And this week's show was only 52 minutes, I think. So, all right. OVW report coming up next with a special guest.
Hey, this is Megan Bain, the OVW Women's Champion, and you're listening to my favorite podcast, Can Crushers. So tune in, and I hope you like it.
And it's now time for your OVW report, but I'm not doing it myself this week. I want to welcome back to the show the man from the Final Count podcast, Ryan. How is your shoulder? We haven't talked to you recently. Is it still in a sling from getting your ass kicked from Cali?
It's out of the sling, but I'm hoping that I can get some revenge this Saturday at the OVW tailgate party.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
In the dunking booth.
We'll definitely get to that, and that's going to be a great event. I'm so excited to come down to Kentucky this Saturday. An SNS, a tailgate party, maybe a beer with you. We'll all just have to see where everything rolls out. But let's review what we saw last week, okay?
All right, sounds good.
So it starts with a fatal four-way for the Anarchy. Well, whoever wins gets the shot at the Anarchy title against Sin Bodhi this week. And it was Randall Floyd, Drew Hernandez, Dimes, and Dustin Jackson. And did you have a favorite right off the bat?
I was actually pulling for Dustin.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
See, I thought you were gonna go Randall, and I was gonna come in and say how much we love Randall Floyd. We don't make fun that he doesn't have any hair. We just love Randall Floyd here.
Yeah, Randall was a good one in that match. I love Randall too. But I really just saw Dustin Jackson for the Anarchy title. By the way, you love Randall Floyd, so does that mean you're going to take over the nickel?
Well, I just have to keep making up for my schmark comments that I made during his Can Crusher Spotlight, because he's going to punch me in the face when I get down there Saturday. So I'm just trying to be nice to him.
I heard that, and I'm scared for you.
Right. So, overall, Dimes hits a change cutter on Dustin and Randall to take him out. Then he tries to hit Drew Hernandez, but Drew hits him in the dink and ends up getting the win. This is not who I expected to win this match. Dimes has been on a little bit of a winning streak, and Drew just cheats again to win. What do you think?
I'm not surprised with Drew cheating. I mean, that's who he is. So nowhere does that shock me.
Yeah, he's called the Malaysian Mauler for a reason, and he lies, cheats, and steals more than Eddie Guerrero.
Right, exactly.
So we see Justin Smooth throughout the whole show, and he's in New York City, and he's still posing with the title, and he's got some new entourage with him, and I know you were pretty giddy about this, so tell us who's with Justin Smooth.
I'm I don't know if I should say the name or not, but one of those guys, the first guy actually, in the first promo, was a former OVW television champion as well as a former OVW Southern Tag Team champion. So I'm very excited to see this man back in OVW.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. If you haven't watched it, we'll leave it at that. And I would imagine something's going to come up with him and Smooth and Corey Storm at SNS. It's got to. It's got to, don't you think?
I would assume so. I mean, looks like he has, I don't want to say entourage, but maybe some bodyguards.
Yeah, entourage is definitely the bad word.
Right.
So then we get into the TV gauntlet match, and Amon against KTD to start, and Amon's just playing around with KTD, and KTD gets a surprise win. Amon on a bit of a losing streak. Do you think he's losing his devilish touch?
It seems like it. He seems like he's more on the giddy side, laughing a lot, that type of thing.
And then KTD has to take on Lutz, and Lutz a quick slide victory. Nothing to be said there. Then the Hood Ninja, Isaiah comes out, and this is going to be a great match on Saturday night with the Hood Ninja and Cash Flow against King's Ransom. It pretty much started last week, and it's going to carry over to Saturday.
Yes. And I'm really excited about this match. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a knockout, drag down fight.
Then Cove comes out. He kind of hits like a kill switch to get the win, and now he's going to face Shiloh Jones. Shiloh in DL3. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys come to fisticuffs too real soon, because this whole Thunder Kitty Shiloh DL3 thing, it belongs on Jerry Springer.
It is. It's inevitable. It's got to, definitely cooler heads are going to prevail, and someone's going to make the first move.
And then Zoe comes out, and Zoe, determined, focused, and just a little bit dastardly anymore, keeps his TV title. I see Zoe getting back together with Cash Flow and Hood Ninja, don't you?
Yes, I've definitely been seeing some brutality here out of Zoe lately. So, OVW better be on warning or on the lookout.
Yeah, for sure, as these three can just pretty much run amok in OVW if it does happen. So, next matchup is Margaritas and Moonshine. Jessie Bell and Maria James takes on Callie and Hip Hop Vivi. And Callie took a beating in this match, and Vivi wanted nothing to do with this. Brings a baseball bat in and cleans house.
Yeah, she even took out referee Charlene McKenzie. I mean, really, what did she do to her? And then, oh my gosh, she was destroying everybody with that bat.
Dean Hill was not there last week, but I hope he addresses that, because there's been times, Dimes accidentally hits, a cameraman, or accidentally, well, not accidentally. Anytime that you take out Daniel Spencer, it's okay with me, because he's just the worst thing going today as a referee. But nonetheless, Dimes get suspended for a long time, so I wonder if Vivi could possibly lose her title shot at SNS for taking out Charlene.
That's going to be interesting to see if that becomes the case.
And then the show ends with Corey Storm coming out and just getting pumped up, talking to the Trinidad Titan, Justin Smooth, our OVW heavyweight champion. Make sure I get that done correctly or I'll get beat up over as well. But he's talking to the Titan, and out comes two snake in the grasses, Adam Revolver and Shannon the Dude. And it doesn't look good for Corey going into SNS now, because he's got a match with Adam Revolver before SNS, and he only looks to take people out.
Right. And Corey, he's been on a roll lately. Justin's been in hiding, but you can't count out that he's got that match with Adam Revolver, and like you said, Revolver along with Shannon are snakes, and so Corey better be watching his back in that match. So on TV. So yeah.
So again, as we said, this Saturday from 3 to 6 at Davis Arena in the parking lot before SNS, there is going to be a huge block party. And tell us a little bit more what you know, Ryan, about it. I know there's going to be beer, so that's where I'm lingering towards.
Well, where else can you get food, beer, and some meet and greets? There's going to be things for the kids. There's going to be games from Dave and Buster's. You name it, there's going to be that there. So, yeah, I definitely encourage everybody to come on out to the OVW tailgate party this Saturday.
You're going to be able to throw axes, folks. The flying axes are going to be there. You're going to be able to throw an axe after you've had a beer. That entices me right there. I'm all in.
Yeah, that axe throwing is scary to me, especially if you had a beer in you.
Right? Yeah, that was all a joke. I don't think we should probably be mixing those two.
Right, I'm going to be out of the way.
But if Callie can throw an axe, I could imagine anybody can throw an axe.
Yes, I better stay away from her if she's going to have an axe in her hand.
Right.
She might chop my arm off this time.
So then Saturday night, we're going to talk about 3 matches. The 3 main events. This is 3 main events pretty much this Saturday night. And we'll start with Megan Bain against Valerie Vermin, Hip Hop BB, whatever you want to call her. She's always going to be Valerie Vermin to me. How do you see this going? If she doesn't get suspended or anything, how do you see this going? Meg just destroys her, or is Valerie going to snap?
First of all, I want to know where the Hip Hop BB is, because I don't see no hip or hop. But that's another thing.
Right.
Yeah. As last week, I don't know. Like we said before, Meg's a powerhouse, but she could just go off and lose her mind, and just maybe the back could come into play again. Who knows? We'll just have to see what happens here.
And then we have the OVW Southern Tag Team Champions, King's Ransom, defending against Hood Ninja, Isaiah, and Cash Flow. The name, what's her name? Because it slipped my mind right now.
Legacy of Brutality?
Yes, thank you. I knew it was Legacy something, and I just couldn't think of Brutality. That's how my day is going today. So the King's Ransom against the Legacy of Brutality, and this match is not going to be for the faint of heart.
Oh no, it's going to be a hard hitting. Those guys are heavy hitters. Both teams are heavy hitters. So yes, we could see new champions come this Saturday.
We could. We're going to make our predictions right after this. And then, probably the main event of main events, it's going to be Corey Storm, the 18-year-old, Category 5, phenomenal one, not stealing AJ Styles stuff, just one of the best that I've seen in a long time. It's such a ripe age of 18, taking on the Trinidad Titan for that OVW Heavyweight Championship. And I don't know. There's speed from Corey. There's power from Justin. Where do you see this going?
I definitely think it's going to be a close call here, but I think something's going to come into play with those two, who we talked about earlier that Justin has acquired.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, prediction time, and then we'll wrap this OVW segment up. Do you got Meg or do you got Valerie?
I'm going to go Meg.
I'd second that. King's Ransom or Legacy of Brutality?
Legacy of Brutality.
So you're calling new champs.
Calling it new champs right here.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go with King's Ransom. And then The main event, Justin Smooth against Corey Storm. Who do you got?
Justin Smooth, champ, staying the champ. I just don't see it being a good night for Corey.
I am going to go the other way. I think that there's a ton of numbers on Smooth's side, but something, because Jay Bradley is also always in the mix, I think Corey surprises everybody and then shoots his ass out of a cannon to get out of Davis Arena, because he's going to have a whole hell of a lot of people on him. But I think you see a big surprise, and Corey Storm wins his first title this Saturday.
I would love to see it happen, definitely. Love to see the Storm roll through OVW.
Oh, nice play on words. How long have you been holding on to that one?
Just came up with it.
Nice. All right, Ryan. Guys, go out and give the final count a listen. He's been having a ton of different guests on the show. What do you have up in the hopper?
Oh, I have a former OVW light heavyweight champion by the name of, I'll go ahead and announce it right now, Sean Casey, Sexy Sean Casey. So you can catch that. That'll be on next week's episode, as we're working our way to episode 50.
And you have a poll up that you are looking to get one of 4 people on the show on episode 50. Who are those 4 people?
We have Jay Bradley, Tony Gunn, Callie, and then the real deal, Randall Floyd.
I have voted 17 times, just to let you know, for Callie, because I think you guys need to come face to face, and find out and figure out your differences. You guys really need to sit down over tea and crumpets and figure out what your problem is with each other.
Tea and crumpets, okay. We'll have to see about that for sure. Yes.
All right, Ryan, I will see you Saturday. I will give you a phone call as soon as I get into Louisville, and we'll head to the block party.
Sounds good.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hi, this is Chase Destiny, and you're listening to Can Crushers podcast. You want to tune in each and every week because you don't want to miss a thing.
And we're pulling him back into the show. I don't know where the hell he's at, but he's here at least to talk about Raw and Smackdown. Paul, are you at McDonald's?
I am not at McDonald's. Man, I wish I was at McDonald's. This whole diet thing is killing me, and doctors, and it's just been a mess lately. So, but I am here now, and I am so glad to be back in Can Crusher Nation.
Yeah, you haven't been in studio. Next month will be a month that we've actually put a show on together, so we have to damn well make sure that happens. It's either from you going here or me having stuff cut off, or now you're actually legit coming from the doctor because you almost cut your own leg off at work. So
yes. I mean, I've been poked and prodded more than, well, never mind. I don't want to say what I've been poked and prodded more than.
And it's off the wrestling topic, folks.
I feel like a working girl today. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Working 9 to 5.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my song. If I could have got back from the doctor in time, I was going to redo 9 to 5 for our little our little starting thing, our intro. There we go. Words fall.
Words are tough. Well, you can do 9 to 5 next week. Now that you've let everybody know that you're going to do 9 to 5, you better bring it.
Yes, I'm going to bring it. Hey, listen, I got the chest for it. Dolly partner ain't got stuff on me.
Right. All right, so let's talk about Raw and Smackdown a little bit. Just jump around and not really go through the show. But I'm going to start with...
It's going to be a house of pain then.
It is going to be a house of pain. I'm going to start what actually started off with Raw, and it's the 24/7 championship and everything. They had this mosh pit match, which is a lumberjack match, and you had two women in the match that really never got into the match, but R-Truth ended up losing it after the match was over, and then it just, where are we going with this?
So is R-Truth going to be like sometime champion or the next 16, 17-time champion for WWE? Is he breaking Ric Flair's record? Like, I don't know where they're going with this. And I'm pretty much wherever they want to go with it, bud, because for 24/7 days or 24 hours, 7 days a week, it's on the line.
I will answer one question that you answered. Yes, I think they're going to have R-Truth break Ric Flair's record and blow it out of the water. And I think by the end of this year, I really do. I mean, we're in August right now, more or less. We're in August. And he's 10-time champ already, and that's in 3 months.
Yeah. So, I mean, not saying that R-Truth doesn't deserve it, because he is phenomenal.
Well, this title is looked at a little bit more different than the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, yeah, and not in a good different.
Right. So the white elephant in the room is, how are you with Maria Kanellis now being the 24/7 champion and being, air quotes, pregnant? Who's going to take it away from her? How can WWE spin this to make somebody more dastardly?
Is it going to be a dastardly thing, or is it going to be a woman that doesn't care thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she's going to. Maybe this might be the first submission you see as a 24/7.
You brought it up on the back. You brought it up on the back of the truck today, and you thought Braun Strowman was just going to put her in like the claw, and that would have been cool.
Yeah. And because that would, I mean, a baby or a woman's brain doesn't. This, I don't know how to say this. So I'm not gonna say it. I think it would have been all right for the baby if he would have clawed her, I guess, is where we're going.
All right. So, other things going on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins gets his ass handed to him from a surprise visit from Brock Lesnar, and he's bleeding all over the place. Does this give Seth more mojo heading into SummerSlam, or does it show that Brock's probably going to be around a little bit more?
I don't think Brock's going to be... Well, Brock is now retired from the UFC officially, so he's going to have to be around more. Where's his paycheck coming from? Even though he makes $1 million each show or something stupid.
Well, Jimmy John's will still pay him, I think.
Yeah. Or Coors Light, because Bud Light won't.
No, he doesn't like Bud Light anyway. He said that.
Yeah, well, that's the first UFC fight. And that's what really turned me off of Brock Lesnar being a fighter, because UFC was working so hard to legitimize itself. And you have this guy coming in from the wrestling world, which, not saying that it's not a legitimate thing, but the wrestling is different than UFC. And he was like, drink Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me anything. And Bud Light was UFC's major sponsor.
Right. How are you liking...
We're on top of wrestling again.
Yeah, because we need to talk wrestling. How are you liking the Heartbreak Kid, Dolph Michaels?
He's always been considered Shawn Michaels, always. But this is setting up for Shawn coming back?
Yeah, I really think Sean's going to have a match. Are they going to try squeezing this in by SummerSlam?
Nope, they've already announced the Miz versus Dolph for SummerSlam.
Okay. But
Did
Sean,
you not see that?
I did.
Didn't see something before you.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Wow.
I might have been napping last night during SmackDown. Is that when it was announced?
I seen it on Facebook.
Oh, Facebooks. Okay. The old Facebooks.
The old face.
Does Sean get involved, or is this going to be something that's going to linger around for a while, and then it's your WrestleMania match next year?
It's a really long time to linger something, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, but it's not anything that you want at Survivor Series, because that's the next big one. Whatever the hell they have in the next couple months isn't going to be Shawn Michaels against Dolph Ziggler. No way. And I don't know, unless is that going to happen over, there's one more Saudi Arabia trip this year in November. Is that where it happens?
Oh, and you know that the Saudi Arabia guys love old nostalgia guys. So maybe it is then.
Yeah, well, that's where Shawn Michaels should do it, because he's going to get a gajillion dollars anyway to be over there.
I wish I could have a gajillion dollars.
Yeah, no kidding. I wish you could close your damn truck door or wherever you are, because that beeping's annoying.
Sorry, I'm standing next to a fan.
Oh, you're cooling off.
Well, it's hot out, man. You know how I get.
You're miserable.
You know how I get? Miserable.
Becky and Nat. Let's talk about that on Raw.
I love this new Nat. I love Nat regardless, but this new Nat is fantastic.
Do you think she takes it from Becky?
No.
No. Not yet.
Becky is still too new into everything. Like, I don't see how you could take it away from her yet.
I think
she's just starting with this whole man thing. Like, it's right there, and they kill it too early and it's dead.
I think they already put a little bit of kill to it, though. I think the whole Seth Rollins, I posted this yesterday, the whole Seth Rollins match and being that Becky's the girlfriend, Seth is the boyfriend, I think that took away from the man a little bit, and I don't think she's as white hot as she was going into WrestleMania.
I don't know. I still love the whole persona.
Yeah, no.
But it does probably take away a little bit.
Right. I mean, you had that two off matches with Lacey, and it went nowhere. Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens have their fight getting set up for SummerSlam, which we'll break down all SummerSlam next week. Probably won't talk about Raw or SmackDown at all. But Shane against KO, if KO loses, he is gone. Is this the way that we're finally going to get rid of Shane as well?
Oh, I hope so. But I don't think so.
Yeah, I
just don't think that they're ready to get rid of Shane yet.
I think it is a way that Shane takes a couple months off. Chad and I talked about this last week, that like the very first time Shane came back, everybody was pumped because he was gone so long. But now he's on both shows. He's just sickening. He really is.
It is like old Vince, though, and we've said it. We want the nostalgia thing is so thick right now that I think that's part of it.
Yep.
He is the new Vince.
He is. He is the new Vince. Vince is taking a back seat and just running the show behind the curtains. So, I don't know what else. What else did we talk about on the back of the truck today? Anything that's piquing your mind that really Paul wants to say something about anybody? New Day, Randy, anything?
I was a little bit of Randy. We talked about Randy today. And you asked if Randy was the guy that's going to take away the title from Kofi. And my answer to that is no. Not yet. I still think that it's going to be a little while for Kofi to keep that title.
You actually said, now that this sparks my memory, you think Kofi's going to run the whole year with it until WrestleMania.
I do.
And I still don't think, and I don't know why or what, maybe it's the way that he's winning. He really hasn't won a battle yet, like a legit battle. He sneaked his way through this, that, or the other. I just don't like the way he's winning his matches. Like, he hasn't really done anything big yet for me. I don't know.
No. And you're right. He hasn't done anything to legitimize his title.
Maybe beating Randy will make, if he crushes Randy in the head or something. I don't know.
Right. And not like a sneaky victory, like an actual victory.
Right.
Yeah, that should put him over enough. But will Randy let him go over like that? You know what I mean? Because that whole thing from like 9 years ago.
With 10.
When Randy called him stupid 10 years ago.
Well, I think yes, because I think Randy is turning the page on his wrestling career. I think there's going to be time that maybe this is Randy's last run. Maybe this is a feud that goes on more than a month, which I don't know if WWE Universe can handle that because, God forbid, we're all gnats and we have to have a different feud every second of the day. But maybe. I mean, I think Randy lets him go over and legitimizes Kofi then.
That would probably put a solid platform on Kofi's reign.
Because all the other ones, no disrespect, he beat KO, he beat Dolph, he shot out of the ring over, he just hasn't been anything hot yet.
No, you're right.
What else we got? The Can Crushers Wrestling Legacy Tournament still going on. How are you liking that? Are you voting every day, Paul?
I'm not voting every day. I'm voting when I see it on my Facebook feed. I don't go, you know how I do. I don't go right into everything.
Right. You got to take the first round off and then mock me for putting people in there, and then the second round is when you run this tournament.
Have we had any title or any draws yet?
We had one yesterday.
Nice. What are we going to do, Mark?
We're going to let it, with 64 people in this tournament, we're going to give the person a bye to the next round.
Oh, now we're buying.
Bye. Yeah, we are.
Oh, now we're in sync, I guess.
Well, because each tournament has different rules, Paul. So, in this one with 64 people, you have to buy the person in, because otherwise, this is already going to last until Survivor Series.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea, and I like that he kind of got a buy, and you can't really put anybody else in because you have really, honestly, with all these people, you have found a lot of people. I didn't know there was that many next generation superstars. You know what I mean?
Well, some of them are a stretch if you ask the English professor, because he's really pissed off that Ricky Morton's dad was a referee, but we still put him in the tournament.
But he's still there.
He's in. It's a wrestling legacy tournament, not a wrestler. So wrestling means a referee as well.
You know how the English professor gets. He's always a stickler for the rules, I should say.
He is. Hey, before I let you go, do you have a garbage tip?
I do not have a garbage tip.
So 2 weeks in a row, no garbage tip from either one of us.
Oh, boy, we're really slacking.
Well, that's why next week when we're back in studio together, we're going to bring you one of the best pre-SummerSlam podcasts that you could think of. But we have to...
Are we going live on Facebook?
Wow, we could. We could. If you want to, we could.
I will. Let's do it.
Are you going to be available for the whole podcast?
God, I hope so.
If you come by next week and say, hey, I have to take Waffles for a walk, I can't
Football
do.
season starts next week, though. So
See? We'll discuss Facebook Live at work. Maybe we'll do Facebook post live.
semi-live.
Half live. All right, go do whatever you're doing. Fix your leg up. I'll see you tomorrow at work. And what else you got?
That's it, buddy. It's nice being back on K Crusher Nation. I missed every single one of you. And listen to Mark's voice for a little more longer. I'm sorry that you don't have my beautiful speaking voice there.
You don't get to do the shtick.
I don't get to do the stick.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
By the time Mark posts today's show, Major League Baseball teams will have about 25 minutes to finalize any deals. By the time you hear the mellifluous verbosity of your English professor, the 2019 trade deadline may be a thing of the past. I have been checking online sports pages in hopes that my beloved evil empire has acquired a stud or two to bolster their starting pitching staff. If starting pitching isn't available, they'll go after more relievers. During Sunday night's Red Sox-Yankees match, Jessica Mendoza said that it was crazy to think that the Yankees could have a starter pitch 2 or 3 innings and that the bullpen could pitch the rest of the game. Alex Rodriguez disagreed. He felt that starting pitching will always be valued in the playoffs and that starters must routinely pitch at least 5 or 6 innings for a team to be successful in the postseason. Sports routinely change. A tight end isn't what a tight end was years ago. Professional athletes adapt on a whim. But perhaps some things in sports and entertainment do remain the same. Perhaps what entertained us 30 years ago can still entertain us today. If Monday Night Raw had decided the argument between Mendoza and Rodriguez, then A-Rod won. 1 week after Raw regurgitated the anniversary idea with skits that laughed at the past, the WWE came back this week with a pretty strong program. Of course, they continue to push the 24/7 angle, but let's just ignore that. While we still haven't gotten a tournament that I've been hoping to see, we did get a gauntlet match with major implications. And a gauntlet match on the real Monday Night Raw. That's almost as much fun as the gauntlet match on Super Nintendo's Monday Night Raw. I loved using Diesel to run through guys like 1-2-3 Kid, Doink the Clown, and Luna Vachon. I used to pretend she was Bob Sparkplug Holly. Finally, there was a video game where you could not only smash a chair over your opponent's head, but jab him with it endlessly until you decided to smash it over his head. The wrestling in the gauntlet match on the real Raw Monday night was much more technical and with higher bits. Rey Mysterio Jr. continues to amaze me with his abilities. All 3 of his matches were believable, including the quick win over Sami Zayn. Mysterio started the match with Cesaro, who's proving his mettle and deserves a singles push. At first, I didn't think their chain wrestling and slower pace would get over with the crowd. But it isn't about speed. It's about energy and commitment, and Mysterio and Cesaro had plenty of both. Eventually, the crowd warmed up and their excitement grew as the story peaked. Everything flowed naturally because it didn't flow naturally. Sometimes things don't work out perfectly, especially in sports and entertainment. Seeing these 2 talented men work around imperfection gave me a real sense of believability. One thing Mark and I hate and have discussed at length is what we call walking to your spots. That's when during a wrestling match, a wrestler realizes he's supposed to be somewhere else and just walks to his spot. And it's abundantly evident to most fans. We don't mean a slight repositioning where a wrestler shifts someone on the mat so his opponent can land a clean splash or top rope move and avoid injury. We mean the blatant disregard for what just happened in a match and moving to an assigned spot. Sometimes it's pretty egregious. Sometimes it's less obvious but still visible. It was nice to see Cesaro not land cleanly on the middle rope for the 619. Mysterio then bounced off the ropes. I noticed the intricacies of his bounce thanks to Crazii Shea showing my son how it was done and even allowing him to try it. Just the bounce, not the 619. Thanks, Shea. We're pulling for you and wishing you the best. A quick pin on Zayn was nearly botched, but Mysterio recognized another available pin from his position and went with the inside cradle instead of the roll-up. Then I mentioned how much Mysterio continues to amaze me after all these years. Andrade showed once again why he's a star waiting to shine. His mocking of Eddie Guerrero never gets old. Commentary told us that as a youngster, Andrade loved Mysterio and even wore a mask early in his career in honor of his ídolo. That's when the mark in me was saying, you can tell Andrade really loves Mysterio and is trying to protect his mask. And it was at that moment that Andrade did the unthinkable and shredded Mysterio's mask off of his face. I gasped as Mysterio weakly tried to use his hands to cover up. Ricochet hit the ring, checked on Mysterio, and took off his jacket. I kept telling Ricochet to hand his jacket to Mysterio so he could cover his face with it as he walked to the dressing room. Rather than do that, Ricochet threw it to the ring attendant. I think Ricochet and WWE missed a nice moment and a nod to Mexican wrestling by not doing that. Instead, Mysterio disappeared from the screen like a defeated video game character who fades away. While much of the evening focused nicely on details, they could have taken more time with Mysterio and Ricochet. I would rather have seen one or two fewer moves in the match so that Ricochet could spend another 15 seconds with Rey Mysterio. In the end, which would have made a more lasting impression on us? Ricochet won the match and earned a United States title match against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss had a nice match while also forwarding two stories. It's matches like this one that give me hope for WWE. Maybe Vince is listening to us fans and to his help. Bliss faked a foot injury and took a forfeit loss so Nikki Cross could coax Lynch into a match. Lynch won that one too, but Bliss made a full recovery and she and her bestie beat down Lynch. When Natalya hit the ring, it wasn't to chase away the heels. It was to slap on the sharpshooter on Lynch. Natty was the embodiment of a wrestler who's been around a long time and was looking to even a score with no frills. She's been around too long to be disrespected. Gone were the pink and the cat ears. Instead, she was in all black. Think of Razor Ramon towards the end of his run losing the silk and gold and instead wearing jeans and a black jacket and knocking gold dust off of every wall backstage. Combine that with Bret Hart slapping on a sharpshooter on Bob Backlund after Backlund thought he could just put the chicken wing on the Hitman with no repercussions, and you've got one badass Natty. The tag team title match between the Usos, the Revival, and the Good Brothers ended with more belts in AJ Styles' crew. It's good to see factions coming back and holding championships, like the New Day with the tag team gold and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Once again, this was a match that forwarded multiple stories. Along with AJ's cronies holding a tag belt, the Usos have moved on to helping their first cousin once removed in his battles against a multitude of enemies. Negotiations for the Samoan summit never commenced as Samoa Joe attacked Roman Reigns, who was defending his cousin's sons from Gallows and Anderson. Reigns challenged Joe in the ring, which led to a wild brawl as the Scottish psychopath got involved. The Usos looked to return the favor and help Reigns, which brought the OC into the fight, which brought Cedric Alexander into the fight because why the hell not? Alexander is a talented, charismatic guy and for some reason just fits into this mess. He took a dive off the Titantron on everyone else who was brawling and wiped them all out. Reigns hit a few Superman punches on the heels and cut through Joe with the spear to end the show. This was a great ending to a very good show, but it wasn't the best part of Raw. Raw pulled no punches in its effort to regain street cred. Brock Lesnar made an unannounced appearance and decimated Seth Rollins. Honorable mention goes to Dolph Ziggler in his match with Rollins. The match was fine, as one would expect from these two. But Ziggler's impression of Shawn Michaels was uncanny and hilarious. Also, with Rollins prepared to defend himself like the true hero he is against Brock Lesnar, Ziggler distracted the Beast Slayer just long enough for the Beast to make his move. It was all downhill from there. Lesnar hit a couple of belly-to-back suplexes. I still call them belly-to-back suplexes. But the real damage was from all the F5s he administered. He gave Rollins an F5 into the ring post. Then he took a chair and walloped him before giving him more F5s onto the standing chair. The chair bent more and more with each F5. Paul Heyman begged Lesnar to stop. And just like when it looked like the Beast was done, I said, he's going to give him one more. And he did. Rollins bled from the mouth. I wondered if it was real blood. Did he hit his mouth? Did he break a rib? How do you fake landing on the edge of a chair over and over again? And as our good buddy Al Snow says, it's about making them guess what's real. Rollins was safe in the ambulance when it started to pull away and then stopped. The one paramedic was still standing outside, so I thought it stopped to let him in. Instead, Lesnar stood in front of the ambulance. Then when he went to the back and pulled out the gurney with Rollins on it, and he flipped it over. I truly believed Rollins' pain was sincere. There was still plenty of garbage on Raw. The show is 3 hours long. It can't all be good. Maria Kanellis asked Braun Strowman to show her how big and strong he is. The segment ended with Strowman grunting and snarling. If this was supposed to suggest something more happened after the camera quit rolling, I didn't get it. It was nice to see Raw come back with a strong program following the reunion. They did a nice job of incorporating old-fashioned storytelling and intertwining angles with updated performances. Let's hope this continues and they don't take a step backwards with scrapped stories. One thing Monday night really showed me, as well as Thursday through Sunday, is that the Yankees need pitching. In today's English Tip of the Week, let's take a look at articles a, and the. Which article should we use and when? A, and the are all used when modifying singular nouns. The most important things to remember are that the is used for something specific, and a and an are used to speak about something non-specific. Use a if the next word starts with a consonant. Use an if the next word starts with a vowel. For example, we wouldn't say a apple, we would say an apple. And if we're talking about a specific apple, like the one Eve gave Adam, we'd say the apple Eve gave Adam. When Bobby the Brain Heenan asked Ric Flair to tell the people how long Hulk Hogan had avoided him, Flair said, "For 8 years, it's been Hulk Hogan, WWF champion, Ric Flair, blank, real world champion." Was Ric Flair a, an, or the real world champion? He wasn't an world champion because an precedes words that start with vowels. The next thing we need to know is what Ric Flair was. Was he just a world champion, or was he the world champion? Hulk Hogan was WWF champion, but Ric Flair was the world champion. In sticking with the Nature Boy, he has reminded us many times over the years about his lifestyle. But even Space Mountain would admit there were other ladies' men out there. Did Slick Rick tell us he was a, an, or the kiss stealing, wheelin' dealing, limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun? Again, we know it isn't an because that word follows kiss, and kiss starts with a consonant. But the champ was telling us he wasn't the only one or a specific one. So the answer is Ric Flair is a kiss stealing, wheelin' dealing, etc., etc. We never found out what the dirt was that Baby Doll had on Dusty Rhodes, but it was enough to make the American dream sweat. It must have been some juicy gossip, but because Sam Houston was a loaded mid-card wrestler in the WWF, a paranoid Jim Crockett fired the Perfect 10 because he was sure she was sharing NWA secrets with her husband. So we fans never found out what Dusty's dirty little secret was. When Baby Doll appeared to demand a United States title match for Larry Zbyszko, was she carrying a envelope, an envelope, or the envelope? A cannot precede a word that starts with a vowel, so it's not a envelope. But before we knew what Baby Doll's ploy was, it wasn't a specific envelope. So it wasn't the envelope. It was just an envelope. And with that, class,
You're dismissed.
This is the heir apparent Chris LaRusso, and you're listening to the Can Crushers podcast. Well, we know Yankees need pitching. I need a co-host. I have a lot of guests. I don't have any guests. It's crazy all the time. The Yankees do need pitching. The Tigers need everything, and the Pirates need boxing gloves. All right, it's time for the shtick as I'm doing it solo. Pro Printing and Office, LLC, 814-834-3006. David All can hook you up with all your printing needs. All of them. He printed a book for Paul. Collar and Elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, all your fan gear when you head to wrestling. These shirts are great. Again, the English professor and I talked about them, that we actually talked that whatever's on the shirt is awesome, but just the fabric of the shirt, the breathability of the shirt, the comfort of the shirt are amazing. Guys, make sure you get to Collar and Elbow. Check them out. They do new lines every so often. I like the traditional ones, but there's like retro ones. The English professor has a Mean Gene one. Paul has a Job Squad. I have Dusty Rhodes. They're all centered around something, and they're really great shirts. Type in OVW for 10% off when you check out. You can find us always on Facebook and Instagram at CanCrushers69. Gmail, it's CanCrushers69@gmail.com. Send us all your questions. We'll answer all your questions, or we'll just leave them in the inbox and not answer anything. you can check out our webpage at cancrusher69.wixsite.com/cancrushers. It's linked to our Facebook page. It's linked to our Instagram. You can get there as well. And you can find us on a ton of different outlets: Alexa, Boxcast, Overcast, Buzzsprout, TuneIn Radio, Google, iTunes, Bullhorn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and the WrestlePost app. The WrestlePost app is a great app that you can get on Android and or iTunes, whatever. If you have two phones, you get it on both your phones. It is a good app. If you're on vacation, you want to take a moment to watch some wrestling, you can find out, hey, wrestling is 5 miles down the road because you're somewhere in Kansas. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, let's go to wrestling tonight. That'd be great. Go to wrestling. You can listen to podcasts. We're on there. You can listen to us on the go if you don't want to listen to us on any of those other ones. You can find more podcasts to listen to. Support podcasting, guys. It does help out to listen to other ones. Like you can listen to Ringside Podcast with our boy Daniel Spencer, the worst referee in OVW. You can listen to the Final Count Podcast with our boy Ryan Mosley, who was just on the show. There's other ones out there. You know, you listen to Jericho, of course. You listen to Stone Cold. You know, just pass it around. There's time in the week as you're standing on the back of a garbage truck listening to music with your headphones in and not paying attention to your coworkers. That's the way to do it. No, it's not. But listen to them in the car. Listen to them wherever. The Cornet Experience. Come on, I can just keep naming them off. Listen to them. They're great. They're fun. If you're a wrestling fan like us, this is our outlet. This is what we want to do with you. Along with the Can Crusher Spotlights that we have every Friday. This has taken a major sidetrack, by the way. Every Friday we have a special guest coming on to the show. We learn about them. We step back from wrestling and learn about them. In time, we'll talk more about their matches. We'll talk about this. We have had Al Snow. We've had Manny Fernandez. We've had Barry Horowitz. We have some bigger ones scheduled as well. But, of course, these are all teasers not to tell you, so you listen when they are posted and you love them. All right, but that all came from the WrestlePost app, so you can do that. What's going on? What's going on? We would like to tell you what's going on in our area. If you want to make it there, go ahead. This Friday in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, Darby Allin will be. It's called Iron City Homecoming. Darby Allin, Billy Gunn, Christy Hemme, Pillman Jr., Funaki, Chad Gable, Corey Graves, Sam Adonis, and Jerry the King Lawler will all be in Monroeville. There's still a chance to get tickets, so make sure you find it. Check it out. I will be in Kentucky for the SNS. I will be in Kentucky for the Block Party. I will be in Kentucky for the OVW Draft. That is the main thing going on this weekend, folks. The Combine from months ago has now come back around, and it's draft time. So there will be some sort of special, have it be released whenever. It will not be Sunday morning. I'm driving home Sunday. So it will be released, and we are going to try to talk to as many as the number of people that want to talk or whatever of the draftees to OVW, because this is changing their lives. This is a huge event. The first Combine held by OVW is now saying, all right, here's what's going on. The draft is happening, and that's why we're heading back to Kentucky to wrap up the whole OVW Combine draft situation. Hope to get Chad Miller on and or Al Snow to talk about them going live now on the channel down there and talk about the OVW network and what that means for that, and talk about their big show, the next big show, the next big thing going on in OVW happens on September 11th. It is a Wednesday. It will be live. I will guarantee you that I will be down there. I have many days off work, so we are heading back down to Kentucky on September 11th to talk about 4th Street Live. So if we can get them on, we will. Another show coming up is August 16th. It's the Future of Honor in Joppa, Maryland. The ROH, again, will be there, and the Rated X Can Crusher, Pat, will be there to cover it for us. I cannot go to that one because I have prior engagements on the same night with Stomp Out Cancer 3 at Stronghold Arena. Lamont Furnace, a Bullet Club member, is going to be in attendance. There's also some Pennsylvania legends as well. Lord Zoltan is going to be there. Dominic DeNucci is going to be there. Hopefully we can reach out to them and see what's going on. Get them on the show. Talk with them. So on and so forth. But what you guys want to know is how the hell can you get there? Well, I have two general admission tickets that we from Can Crushers have bellied up and got them for you. Be on the lookout. On Thursday, there will be a post on the Facebook page, only on Facebook. You must share that post. That exact post must be shared. I get the kickback of who shared it. So if you share that post and you like our page and you like that post and then you tag who you are going to bring with you or a friend to that, somebody will be pulled out of the hat and you will say you get 2 tickets to Stomp Out Cancer 13, not 3. I hope it makes it to 13. Stomp Out Cancer 3. Again, you have to like the page, you have to like the post, you have to share the post, and you have to tag somebody in the post. I get all that recouped back. If there's only 13 people that do it, only those 13 people are going to go in the hat on Facebook Live to say, this is who won. We're not going to play the game of anybody who likes it, this, that, and the other. It's got to be that post. These are tickets to Stomp Out Cancer 3 on August 16th in Lamont Furnace, Pennsylvania at the Stronghold Arena. You will get in for free because we have just paid your way in to the event. Other events coming up, as you heard at the beginning of the show, August 24th, Asylum Pro Wrestling and Code Red Wrestling bring to you a benefit for Crazii, Shea, and Alora, Skin Deep. Guys, we are going to have baskets there to bid on, and that money is going to be kicked right back to Crazii, Shea. There's going to be a bake sale. God, I hope you guys get there before we do, because we're hungry men. And as well, you can donate that night as well to Crazii, Shea. Get there, get your seat, sit down, watch some wrestling, and enjoy yourself. Make sure you get there August 24th, Clearfield Arena. Asylum Pro Wrestling and Code Red Wrestling bring to you Skin Deep, a benefit for Crazii, Shea. Guys, it's been all over the place today. I want to thank Crazii, Shea for coming on the show. I want to thank Ryan for stepping up and giving me a call in to talk a little bit of OVW. Of course, the English professor. And I couldn't have done it without Paul being at McDonald's because he says he's by a fan. But nonetheless, Paul did make it to the show. So, yeah. Make sure you listen Friday as one of the guests that you've heard on the promos is going to be on the show. So we have a new guest coming up on the spotlight. Remember, guys, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.